Hi everyone, this is John Wen. Today is November 11th, 2021. In today's video, I'm going to go through my research updates since the past week. As you can see from the Gantt chart, there are two items I'm currently working on. For the first one, the journal version paper, I'm currently focused on the implementation, for example, like the Webbench version, as well as an executor that will reuse any trained model in the past on the new dataset. So the second item is about an workflow website integration. The estimated progress is about 5%, and I will go through the details very soon. So let's review a little bit from the past week. So by the last meeting, I was working on an executor to reuse any trained model, which basically will take the saved trained model, which is a JSON file format, and there's a new dataset will be fed into the task as well. This task is called an executor. I also get some suggestion from Dr. Liu and Dr. Che, so this task should never be changed, because if we have new network or new executor in the future, we don't want to create another task or one and another task. So this one, I have made the modification and change to align with these requirements. And the good news is that from the past week, I have wrapped up everything about an executor. So right now, we are able to construct a regular workflow, including this an executor task, which takes a JSON format file and cancel maybe a new data set as input, and then output testing results. So let's get into the Java code, and we can take a look at the code. So this is an executor.java. So from the difference from the past week is that right now we are fixing this API or this call from the workflow executor. So this will never be changed, and the inputs will include the input dataset and input file name. So these two is what we have been seeing in the previous slides. And also we have a third argument, and this one is basically served for the Webbench, because in the Webbench we have different working directory. For on the Windows, the working directory is the Windows /system32, so that is working directory. However, in the Webbench version, the servlet context is quite different, which is in a temp folder under the users folder. So that is not under the system folder. So we have to serve this as a parameter in order to let the task know where the actual working directory is. So that is the purpose. We can look at the web version later, but for now, let's focus on the API, Java API version. And I also construct a workflow, which is called an executor workflow, that is to incorporate this task into, so we can construct a regular workflow. So we have two inputs. One is a generic workflow at this number, and this is basically a trained model that's saved as a JSON format file. And we also have a new dataset, and we have output text file name, and we have only one task, and we specify the edges, basically connects the input dataset with a task, and then we connect the task with the output text file. So that is basically what we are doing right now. So if we are looking at the main file, which is going to trigger this workflow, is the test.java, and we are going to call this an executor workflow, and we call by using the local workflow executor. So that is what we are using. So if we run this one, and we're able to see the visualization of this workflow. So basically it's exactly the same as what we have seen in the slide. And also we have some outputs like the accuracy, final accuracy is what and how much time in milliseconds have been taken to execute this testing. So this is on the Java API programmatic side, so we're able to construct any workflow with an executor right now to execute or to reuse the workflow that have been trained in the GPU before and on any new dataset. So this is for the workflow side, and let's go back to the slides. And one more thing is about WebBench version. We also make it work. So the web version of the executor to reuse any train model. Now we are able to successfully construct an workflow or an regular workflow with this executor in the WebBench as well. So we're able to take the inputs and run, and we can see the outputs from the output file. So you can see this is accuracy, this is the device information of which device we're working on. So if we take a look at the example, maybe we can run it as an example. So let me make sure we are going to run from the website version. So login, run as, run on server. Okay, so if we log in and we are able to see the pre-saved workflows in the workflow folder. So this is a workflow I'm going to run. So basically we're going to have the executor and the train model that had been saved as a JSON format file, and also a new dataset. So if we click the run, and we're choosing the local executor, and then we can see the value from the results from the saved file. So you can see the testing accuracy, which is exactly the same as we have been seeing from the Java API version. So until now, the both versions have been working successfully, and maybe we can construct more complicated new network workflow in the future, or a regular workflow in the future to incorporate this executor. So the only thing we need right now is maybe a qualified use case. So that's something we have to think about for this moment. And about the paper of the DLAAW, so which is not accepted by the Big Data Conference, but we have been accepted by the conference workshop. So one of the workshop called the BPOD 2021 have been accepted our paper, and right now we are preparing a short version of this paper to submit to this workshop. So still this workshop will be published in the same conference. So I think that's a good thing. And the due date is November 21st. So we still have 10 days to go. So I think I have make a very rough draft for this moment and send to Dr. Lu and Dr. Che. I'm waiting for some feedbacks from both of them. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the updates for today, and thank you so much for your time to watch this video, and hope you enjoy, and until next time, happy coding.